Bookkeepers, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are continuing on with video 2, talking about our mindset and raising prices in our bookkeeping business, and also building confidence with ourselves and with our clients. I think that's really important. If you know you should raise your prices, but you don't, if you've thought about it for months, I've done this, but you still haven't done it, this video is for you. I'm going to help you stretch forward with this and have all the reasons why you should do this. Because most bookkeepers are not underpricing due to skills. You have the skills, and you know that. And today I'm going to break down exactly what the fear is and how to move past it without anxiety. And I can say one thing about the fear. For me, I journal and I talk to God like every morning, and I really write down these thoughts going through my head, because we all in this world have fears and of people rejecting us, or what people think about us, or what we do, and you're wasting your time and all of those things. So we face those every day. You're not afraid of raising prices, you're afraid of rejection, of getting on a call with someone, and then they show you everything and you give them a solution, and this is the price I charge, and then you're afraid they're not going to take you up on it. And some will take you up on it and some will not. That's just how it goes. And some that say no, not right now, they could come back to you in 3 months, in 6 months, next week, that they still have this problem they thought they could solve themselves, but now they can't solve it because they got in QuickBooks and it's not quite as easy as they thought that it was going to be. That it's not just click, click, click like they show on the commercials. Most bookkeepers, we do have, when we get on a call with somebody, afraid that we're going to get rejected. Then we say in our head, I don't think I'm ready. What if they leave? What if they say no? That's not a pricing problem. So don't take that on yourself. Has nothing to do with your price. You could have gave them $300 and them not take it. You could have given them a price of $1,000 and they didn't take it. So there's no difference between those two. So always just keep it professional of how highly skilled you are, and the things that you're going to give them results for in their business. It's not about you, but about them and their business, and what better of a life that they're going to have. This is just our fear of rejection. When you raise pricing, you're asking, will they still value me? And if your identity is tied to being liked, pricing is going to feel very threatening. And I know, like in social media and everything, a lot of people judge other people. We get criticized. There's a lot of things that go on. And so we're judged and rejected every day. So we just have to get used to, at times we are going to get rejected. When that happens, just breathe in and let it go. It's not about you. They could have had a bad day. That puts something on top of it too. Always just be your best. Serve with excellence. Serve with an integrity. And give them the price that is above your comfort zone. I want you to go a little above your comfort zone. If you've been pricing at $300, give them a price of $500. And that's a $200 extra profit in there for you that you should have been making all along anyway. If you're at $500, charge $800. If you're at $600, charge $1,000. You can just test it all out, but don't be afraid of a client not agreeing to that or losing a client over it. Just keep to your value with that. If someone leaves because you charge what you're worth, they were not your long-term client. So don't always get hooked on your clients, because some clients, they will leave. When some clients, their business didn't work out, there's just a lot of different things that can happen in business. We have businesses that start, the failing rate is really high in construction and in craftsmanship and in labor. There's always new construction companies starting up every day. So you're always going to have a good supply of people that are needed bookkeeping. You're going to have to get out there and do some work and do some posting and talk to people, build some relationships, but you will get those clients. You are building stability and not popularity. So don't care what anybody else thinks, as long as you know that you're doing what God has given you to do. But you're pricing from your wallet and not theirs. So that is a big statement there. And sometimes that's how we price things. If we think we couldn't afford that, then they can't afford that. And that is so far from the truth. They may have revenue coming in that far, far exceeds yours 100x. So their pricing and your pricing, what you think about money and what they think about money, those are two different things. It just depends. But this is a subtle but powerful. Many bookkeepers think I wouldn't pay $1,000 per month, but you are not your client. Roofing companies have payroll, carry high insurance, manage materials. They spend thousands of dollars, $100,000 a month on materials. They have risk lawsuits. They run crews. They're paying people all the time. So a $1,000 bookkeeper who prevents financial mistakes is not expensive. That could be just in you catching one thing in their books where, somebody double paid, charged them twice on something. And I see it all the time in the bank feed. So when I'm in my clients' books, if I see something like that, then I'll notify them and let them know. And then most of the time what happens is they've got a reversal coming, but it could happen 3 or 4 times. That's going to be well worth your service, just catching these things so they're not having to look through their bank feed like every day, watching for things coming through that they didn't buy. They know that you're doing that for them, and you're doing it every week for them, and you're going to notify them, when something's wrong. And so these are the type of services that you're giving to the client, besides whatever you do in QuickBooks and running their bookkeeping. You're helping them grow their business, build their business, increase their profit. So think about that. When you price from your own comfort level, you shrink your value, and we all do that. So we need to learn how to up our pricing and, how to go a little bit above where our comfort zone is. Price from impact, how much can you impact their business, not from your personal spending habits. And then you haven't designed a revenue plan. Have you designed your revenue plan? That's the most important part, because that gives you a lot of inspiration, a lot of motivation, a lot of reason to, I need to get this business going. What are my steps to really successfully building my bookkeeping business? When there is no revenue plan, pricing feels random. You're just pricing all over the place what you feel like while you're on the call with them. And I've done that too. You just take what comes, whatever they offer you. You negotiate downwards instead of upwards. But when you design your income intentionally, you have your annual goal, you have your amount of clients that you're going to service per year, per month. You have even how many cleanups you're going to do a year. I think it's important to know how many cleanups you would do, because you can get bogged down in cleanups. So be sure to know how many cleanups you're going to do. And your minimum monthly rate, just like we talked about last week too, but be sure to have that down. And then your capacity limits, how many clients that you can service and deliver in 20 hours a week, because if you're working 40 hours a week, you've got 20 hours in client service, delivery, email, phone calls, whatever the case is over there. Then you've got 20 hours of marketing that you need to get done also to keep your business in rhythm and keep your business flowing. If somebody quits on you, then you have other clients you're working with, and then other clients are coming through the pipeline. So it's really important to keep that going, okay? But pricing becomes structural. You don't try to raise prices, you operate from a floor, and that floor removes fear. I can remember watching Alice Hormonzio showing like a floor level, like maybe where you are right now, and then keeping yourself above that floor level. And so that was pretty visionary, I think. Keep on going up in levels with our companies. But that floor removes fear, because if your floor is at minimum price of $800, you're not going down here. You're not going down here. You're keeping it $800, and you're going to keep moving it up. If it's $500, you're going to keep moving it up. And anything below $500, you are not making a profit on. I can promise you on that. It may seem like it, but if you really look at your numbers and how many hours you're putting into everything, your overhead, you're probably not making money at $500. There's no profit margin there. But you confuse experience with authority is our next topic here. Some bookkeepers think I'll raise my prices when I have more experience. You don't need any more experience. But authority doesn't come from years. It comes from clarity, having clarity of what you do, clarity of who you serve, clarity of the industry that you're in, clarity of the results that you can get for your client. And I think that is really heavy there, the clarity that you have of results that you can deliver for your clients. And when it comes from clarity, you understand job costing, and that is helping the client improve their profits as well once you understand that. And just to give you an example on that, with one of my roofing contractors, they synced an invoice from AccuLinks over into QuickBooks. And what someone did is they had a roof repair, and then they had paid by credit card and then minus that amount. So that was like a total washout that would be showing on their profit and loss. So those are things that you can help clients with, correct those type of things, okay? But understanding the job costing, that's part of understanding that, where the numbers come from, where the numbers go. Make sure you have 4 or 5 different income accounts for the contractor, making sure you have cost of goods that are connected to the job, even indirect. It could be even fuel that is part of job cost overall. So you can also have that in there. So understand your profit and loss. And if they aren't using a CRM and QuickBooks, you can go to projects, and projects gives you a lot of useful information there. All income and expenses you can connect to that customer. So it's actually just a profit and loss for that one customer. So that's far easier to do in QuickBooks, like through projects, than if you go to reports, profit and loss, and then you're trying to choose the customers that you're trying to get a profit and loss on individually. So that is a big improvement with QuickBooks there. But just understand the reporting, accounts payable, accounts receivable, all of those type of things, and just communicate clearly with your client. Ask any questions you have, not too many questions. If something's on the line, I put it the best place that I feel like that it goes, that I know this client, how they spend their money. And that's the good thing about only having 10 clients. You get really familiar with how each client spends their money, and you have a easier job of knowing where to put that expense or where to put that income. And then it's very repeatable, because with 10 clients, then you can really set their account up really well, and you'll be going through everything a lot faster. You'll get really good practice at it. You'll memorize their account totally, every account number that they have. But you can charge professionally. Waiting for perfect confidence keeps you stuck. Just doing the things are going, and getting the clients are going to build our confidence. And action builds confidence. Nothing happens without action. God does his part, and we've got to do our part in taking action. Then it's not the other way around. So just make sure you have action. But then also, let's look at protecting short-term comfort. This one may be a tad bit uncomfortable for you, okay? Raising prices creates temporary discomfort. It might be discomforting to you. When I was raising my prices, and I send out everybody emails, okay, this is the new pricing, even when QuickBooks raises prices. And so I have to send out, okay, this is the increase. Sometimes that can be uncomfortable too, because clients don't want to hear that QuickBooks has raised their prices again, or whatever software you're using, that they have raised their prices again. Just send it out, let it go. And each client, you'll be surprised how many clients come back and say absolutely nothing. They just say, okay, all right, I understand the cost of living is high, inflation is high, so it costs you more money too to buy things, just like me. So, that it will feel uncomfortable at first, but you will be fine. I guarantee you'll be fine. But not raising prices creates long-term stress of, in January, you knew that this was not a good client for you, but you needed the money. So you just kept on. And by October or November, this client has really just totally stressed you out to the limit. And by December, you're like, okay, come January, they just need to find somebody else, because I'm not a good fit for them. They don't get documents back to me. They don't answer questions, and whatever issues that you have with them. And that could be really frustrating for us doing bookkeeping, when we can't get documents, we can't get answered, answered, and we're trying to get the bookkeeping done, and we really can't do it without their help. So that is long-term stress. So I'd rather just send out my emails, my price increase. And so I have a short time stress. And then I know in a couple of days where everybody is, what they think about it or whatever. If I lost one, if I lost 2 clients, if I lost 0 clients, that it made no difference to them, because they love the work I do. I'm of great value to them, and they respect me. So there's just a few different ways of looking at that. But which discomfort do you want? One awkward conversation, or one awkward email, or ongoing financial pressure? High-level bookkeepers choose short comfort for long-term stability. That's mindset maturity. So we want to be mature in our business. But if you've been stuck at the same pricing level for too long, which I'm sure if you're anything like me, sometimes I have went like a year and I'm just stuck there, knowing that I needed to raise these prices because it was more work than what I had estimated 6 months ago, a year ago. They added 2 more bank accounts, there's 2 more reconciles, and all of these different things. Go and calculate. I'll have the link in the description there for the Bookkeeper's earnings calculator. Go in there and calculate how much you want to make a year, how much you want to make a month, how much you want to make a week. The earnings calculators will automatically calculate it for you and show you the math for monthly, quarterly, and yearly. So that's really helpful. And if you want support around building a profitable bookkeeping system, join us inside our Skool community, Bookkeeper Connections, and we would love to have you over there. We don't build cheap businesses, we build sustainable ones, and we build one with systems, so it makes it easy for you to become profitable. But I will see you on the next video, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.